Imagine reducing a plant's energy consumption by 30 to 40% without changing the process chemistry. Sounds impossible? That's exactly what heat exchanger network synthesis and pinch analysis can do. In today's video, I will show you how to solve a complete heat exchanger network problem using Aspen Energy Analyzer from stream data to the final network design. Hello everyone, welcome back to Chemical Engineering and Aspen channel. If you are a chemical engineering student or a process engineer interested in energy optimization, this video is for you. Today we will solve a realistic heat exchanger network problem using Aspen Energy Analyzer. We will learn how to enter stream data, how to perform pinch analysis, and finally how to synthesize the heat exchanger network. So moving on to the process stream data that we have been given the four streams. Two of them are hot stream while two of them are cold stream. Hot stream means that their initial temperature is higher while their target temperature is lower during heat exchange process or after heat exchange process, while cold stream denotes that initial temperature is lower while after heat exchange the target temperature will be higher. So H1 is from 220 to 70 degrees centigrade with a CP of 4000 kilowatt per degree centigrade, and accordingly the total heat load is 600 kilowatt. Similarly, for H2, for C1 and C2, we have been given the conditions over here. And more importantly, the delta T minimum is the main parameter which is given to us as 20 degrees centigrade. The entire pinch analysis revolves around this parameter. Our objective is very simple: recover as much heat as possible internally and minimize the external utilities load. So let's quickly move to Aspen Energy Analyzer and solve this problem, obviously with the help of Excel sheet. So we will first specify the stream data or stream name H1, H2, C1 and C2. And now we will specify inlet temperature, outlet temperature, MCP in watt per degree centigrade, and accordingly enthalpy will be calculated. So I have taken the data in Excel. I will simply copy paste from here. 220 to 70, H1, H2 180 to 60, then C1 40 to 150, 160, and C2 80 to 150. And then we will add the values of Cp over here, which is in watt per degree centigrade. So accordingly, 600 kilowatt is the heat load for H1, 300 for H2, C1 for C1 it is 420, and for C2 it is 140. Now we will go to this targets view and we will specify delta T minimum as 20 degrees centigrade, and you can see that heating is sufficient. There is no heating utility requirement. One utility is absent from the system. That means that where this problem is heading to, pinched or threshold. Take a pause, decide. Obviously, it is the threshold problem in which one utility goes to zero. So accordingly, we need the cooling utility requirement, which is 340 kilowatt. So in utility stream, we will come here and we will specify the cooling water, and now cold utility stream is sufficient. So now H1, H2, C1, C2 all are specified. Our total heat load is specified. Our total utility is specified. The counter current area, the shell and tube areas are calculated. Cost indexes are calculated as well. There is no pinch temperatures because it is a threshold problem. If we look at the composite curve, you can see this is the composite curve for our system. Obviously, there is no pinch point in the system, but the minimum delta T for the heat exchangers which we will connect should be, or the delta T at hot side or cold side should be at least 20 degrees centigrade. So now we will go to the hand grid diagram, and for a check, if we click on this show hide pinch lines, there is no pinch line in the system. So now if we see here that H1 has to give 600 kilowatt heat load while C1 can accept 420. H2 can give 300 kilowatt heat load while C2 can accept 140. Obviously, if we go by this connection, maybe we will be able to achieve our target. So let's first connect H1 to C1 in H2 to C2 to check whether we can get our required objectives or not. So H1 to C1, obviously C1 will be completely utilized, or C1's heat requirement will be fulfilled. So accordingly, we will tie this temperature and we will tie these two temperatures. And you can see here that delta T cold end is 75, while here it is 60 degrees centigrade. Similarly, connecting H2 to C2, and again doing the same thing, because the hot stream requirement will be left over while the cold stream requirement will be fulfilled. So you can see this exchanger has also been converged. The delta T at hot end is 30, while at cold end it is 44, way above 20 degrees centigrade, which is the requirement. So now you can see the cold streams have been utilized in the system. We will now connect the process streams to the utility stream to satisfy our remaining requirements. 90 degrees centigrade, 50 degrees centigrade is the delta T at both ends, and then accordingly tying these to 40 and 101.6, and you can see this exchanger network has been converged using the 4 exchangers, 2 process to process heat recovery exchangers and 2 utility exchangers. If you go to the network cost view, you can see the capital cost is a bit higher than the estimated cost, and the total cost is also as well. If you go to the network performance, the total area is a bit higher. So obviously what you can do, you can change the composition, you can change the scheme actually. Like you can connect H1 to C2 or H2 to C1 to see how these can progress. But obviously in such cases, the main objective is to recover as much heat as possible, number one. And number two, to avoid the violation of delta T minimum or delta T, because the exchangers which we are installing should be feasible to operate. So this is our final heat exchanger network diagram. The process streams exchange heat internally as much as possible. External heating and cooling are minimized, which results in lower utility cost, reduced carbon emissions, smaller environmental footprint, improved process economics. And that's precisely why pinch analysis is widely used in refineries, petrochemical plants, LNG facilities, and specialty chemical industries worldwide. I hope you have enjoyed this complete tutorial on heat exchanger network synthesis using Aspen Energy Analyzer. If you found this video helpful, please like the video and share it with your friends and classmates. Subscribe to the channel for more tutorials on Aspen Plus, Aspen HYSYS, Aspen Energy Analyzer, pinch analysis, process system engineering, and advanced chemical engineering concepts. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.